videos where you have an officer basically. They don't have ID. They can't get into a hotel room. To get them the help they need, especially if someone even gets arrested. A lot of people don't know how the justice system works.
But I want someone to actually know them and know that it's legit. 30 years. I started out as an investor first.
I would, in general, be wary of the storefront psychic.
Have more powers.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey everybody, this is David Coleman, the Problem Solver. Welcome so much. Every single week we are going live, talking to some great people, experts. People have different experiences in life. The goal for the Problem Solver every single week is to bring on people to learn, find out some other information from other people. As usual, the Problem Solver is theproblemsolver.vegas. If you want the app, you can add it to your home screen, any type of resources. The goal is to help people and provide different resources as well. You can always call 702-999-1111. Again, 702-999-1111. If you have a problem, you need some help, call the Problem Solver. Otherwise, today here we have some great co-hosts. I have Paul co-hosting today. Welcome, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
Paul the Lover. And then we have John T here, Dr. G.
Ooh, howdy, y'all. Howdy.
Dr. G's in the house co-hosting. Thanks, you guys, for co-hosting. Today we have a special guest. He goes by Ocho.
Ocho.
Welcome, Ocho.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Ocho 8, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ocho is 8.
Ocho in the way it is.
See, she knows Spanish. Ocho's here. Ocho, is a very interesting guy, and he's going to tell a little bit about himself. This is the first time that we're meeting.
Yep.
Ocho is actually OG, original gangster, a pastor now, an actor, and a wrestler.
Yes.
I don't know if you can add any more titles to.
I don't know, man. I'm getting old, so I don't know if I can.
3, 4.
I don't know if I can hold any more titles.
That's a lot of titles. So I'm glad you're here. I know you got an interesting story in general.
Yeah.
Where do you currently right now living?
So right now I am living in Texas.
Okay.
Texas.
So,
yeah.
I don't see a cowboy hat. You don't know cowboy hat?
Everything's bigger in Texas, I hear. So.
Do you ever wear a cowboy hat out there or no?
No, I don't look good in a cowboy.
It's only
hat.
for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
I'm sure you will look just
Gangster guy in a
fine.
cowboy hat.
Come on, why not? You go to the rodeo, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I've
Everything
been-
is bigger in Texas. I got my boobs there.
Yeah?
In Texas, yeah.
There you go. Probably was a better deal in Texas. So you're in Texas. How long?
About a year and a half now. We moved there to Texas, and I had some job opportunities there, and my wife ended up loving it over there. And we're living in between San Antonio and Austin, smaller cities, so I felt like the kids have like a better education because it's such smaller. I feel more comfortable with them going with their friends here and there than in a big city.
That's great.
sorry.
What's the population?
Don't know offhand, but I know it's small.
Oh, okay.
I know it's small. It's a small, and we have rivers near us and lakes and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
So they can go tubing and stuff.
Oh, that's great.
4-wheeling and stuff.
Like San Marcos? I'm sorry.
It's close to San Marcos. It's New Braunfels.
Oh, yeah. I love New Braunfels.
Yeah, New Braunfels.
That's when we go river.
Yeah.
Was it rafting?
Yeah. They have the rivers there. They have the
Yeah.
lakes and stuff. And,
Oh, yeah.
And I get to be the only heavily tattooed Hispanic in that city.
You're the only one?
So, yeah. Yeah,
You stand out.
Yeah, we're some of the few Mexicans there too. So.
Oh, nice.
How did you find that specific city?
I did. I actually spoke down there because I do motivational speaking, and I actually spoke a few times there, and my wife really loved it, and it's really pretty. We have deer running in and out of our yard and stuff. So yeah, so we have big yards for our dogs and stuff, and love it. Just love it.
Well, the food just comes right to your front door, huh? You don't have to go.
Yeah, we just get outside, hit it with a rock, pour little Bambi steaks.
Do you hunt deer at all there? Or?
I don't hunt.
No hunting.
I love to go to HEB and buy it in the store.
Do you actually eat deer?
I've eaten deer. I'm not a fan of deer.
No?
I'm not a fan.
Oh, okay.
I hear that if you don't cook it right, it tastes really gamey. So
Yeah, true.
the ones that have cooked it for me, I guess it wasn't really good.
Oh,
So
okay.
I apologize to anyone out there who served me deer.
I guess I wonder that's really common. I guess if you like living in Texas or anywhere with deer, it just take out your gun, or a bow and arrow, just shoot a deer and have dinner.
It's right there, man.
Yeah.
We
Hundreds of deer, hundreds.
like there's always deer out in the freeways everywhere. People hitting deers and stuff. So
It's delicious, actually. But yeah, I mean, on my land, there's deer and stuff too. I don't want to kill them, not yet.
they're cute though. They're like
Yeah, they are.
I can't kill a cute little deer.
Yeah,
No,
we're
yeah.
not hungry yet enough.
So
Yeah.
where are you from originally?
I'm from California,
Okay.
San Bernardino, California.
Okay, that's where you grew up or born?
I was born in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Awesome.
You know, it's interesting is Tucson. I always look at Tucson for some reason for real estate because it just seems like a small little city.
Oh, it's growing, man, and it's right by the border, so there's a lot of crime now and stuff, cartels,
Oh, boy.
trafficking, human trafficking and stuff, drugs in and out there.
Because it's so close to
In
the border.
It's like
Tucson?
less than it's less than
Okay.
an hour from the border.
Wow.
So that was a major reason why, because I was living back in Tucson when we moved to Texas, and that's a major reason why we moved is because it was getting really bad. It's getting huge.
How far is it from Phoenix?
An hour and a half.
Oh, so it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I have properties in Arizona.
Okay.
A lot.
What?
I'm not trafficking anyone though.
That's
Not yet.
men, single men trafficking. So be careful. You should maybe move over a little
no,
bit.
I was
It's kind of dangerous.
Oh, okay.
I'm not dangerous.
She was going like that. So
Yeah, she's-
No, I
sometimes
was-
she makes violent moves. So please be careful.
I was curious about your tattoos. If we're gonna get into that,
Please,
you know?
go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I got my we were talking, and I do got my tattoo gun in the car. You were talking about maybe her wanting her face tattoo with a problem solver.
Really?
What do you think?
You do tattoos as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Get your face tattooed.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah. One.
Where's your tattoo?
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a tip now. I mean, the tip of the head. It's just peeking out.
Okay. He said that he would do a free tattoo today on the show.
Well,
if
let's
you're
get
interested.
you one then. You know,
Everything
I
is
know
a-
you want to be a tough guy.
I'm not trying to be tough. I'm trying to make you happy. I figured we get you a free tattoo.
I don't
You're on
wanna-
the show. You don't want
no,
a
I'm
tattoo.
good,
You don't want
yeah.
a problem solver,
No.
like around here by the eyebrow.
No, thanks.
Right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It'll be the ultimate brand.
Yeah, great. You know, or actually just show me your dick, you know. Cause
Oh, we said
that's
that
what
last time.
happens.
Oh, one of the problems that she has when she drives around on her motorcycle
Mm.
is that most people will show their penises to her,
Yes.
which is very nice of the public to do that for her.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
So she's saying that maybe on the helmet it should say "show me."
The men
It
are
doesn't
just
say "show
so
me."
thoughtful and so sweet. They just love to reveal themselves to me. It's amazing. So I think I have an invisible "show me your cock" or something on my head. I swear to God. Yeah.
We could he could do that.
Yeah. Okay.
We won't do it. We need to get one motorcycle helmet. Just try it as a picture. It would be funny. Just
what?
to see how it looks. So listen, you have a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit story about the tattoos, and then tell me, like today, how do people judge you? If I saw you on the street, I could be, intimidated in general, and now that you're preaching as well now. So tell us a little bit about,
I get judged a lot where I go. I live in a small city in Texas, and we just mentioned it. And I do get judged a lot. Back before I became what I became, I had a hard time finding a job because of my tattoos. And that's why when my kids go, I want a tattoo like you, Dad. I'm like, hell no.
Oh wow.
I'm like, because I actually want you guys to have opportunities. But
Well,
it
how,
helps.
How
it
did
helps,
you get them? I'm sorry. Where did
prison
where did,
tattoos.
Oh,
I was in gangs.
Oh, you were.
I was in
Okay.
gangs, and I carry a lot of gang tattoos.
Okay.
But when people, I was just on a podcast earlier, and when people ask, would you ever get rid of them, or would you ever have them removed? I say no, because it shows who I used to be and where I'm never going back.
Amen.
Yeah, and also it opens up doorways, because people that lived in the same situations as me, the same background as me, I'm able to give my testimony, talk to them, reach them, and show them that life you just aren't gonna be where you're at. You can actually go further. You can be forgiven, and you can have second chances.
Absolutely. Can you give us a little bit of the background? Did you serve time?
Yeah, I did time.
Okay.
From the time I grew up without a father, and angry. I was an angry kid over that. A lot of people blame people, but I learned later in life that you make your own decisions in life. I blame my dad for a lot of stuff because he was not around for me and my sister, and I joined gangs because I wanted to show him that I could be bigger and better than he could ever be, and maybe if I was, he'd love me a little bit more because he was in that lifestyle.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I joined gangs. I was a Crip, and I was arrested my first time in 7th grade,
Oh wow.
and did a whole bunch of juvie time in and out. And going to quote that one movie where it says, "I thought I knew it all, ended up in juvie hall." And I learned how to become a better criminal. They was talking to the lawyer previous, and I said juvie and prison is supposed to be rehabilitation, but in the realness of it all is you learn how to become a better criminal.
That's for
And
sure.
I learned how to become a better criminal.
Wow.
Graduated to prison. We call it Disneyland,
Yeah.
and or college.
Okay.
And in California, it's separated by race. We were talking about that. You got the white gangs, the Mexican gangs, and the black gangs. And I clicked up, and I did whatever I was told. A lot of awful bad things. If you don't do those things, they threaten your family.
What?
And I was unafraid of anything.
Yeah.
And I did whatever I was told, so I rose up pretty quick.
How long were you in there?
Almost a decade.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I did a lot of bad stuff, and came out and was the same bad person when I was in there. I was like an enforcer. So if you owed the drug man money, I was the one that came and knocked on your door, and I was going to find out where your kids went to school, where your family lived, because if you didn't pay me, I was going to hurt one of your family members. Wow. And a lot of people, when they give their testimony, they say, I felt bad about it, or I felt remorse, and I loved it. I loved putting a gun in people's mouths and watching them beg for their lives. And I was a really, really bad person. But I'm living proof that someone can change.
Yeah. What made you change
So
or
it's-
decide to change?
It's funny because when you live this life for so long, you get tired of it. It's like Groundhog Day over and over again. And it felt like that Groundhog Day. And different women each night, because I could get I'm the ugliest guy in the world, but I could get any woman I wanted because I had a lot of drugs and money. And you get tired of that. You get tired of people always looking over your shoulder because there's always someone that wants to take your spot. And you know how it is too. You're all dressed up in that suit, but you're a gangster, man.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's always someone that's going to try and take your place. And I got tired of that life. I got tired of the same old thing. And the worst thing is I became my own father, the beast I hated the most, because my son, I chose women, drinking, and partying over my own son. And one day he invited me to go to a rodeo event, and I went. And he was over there showing me his little friend Mariah, and I was looking at Mariah's mom. And I was like, man, that's the prettiest woman I've ever seen in my life. She's going to be mine. And I got dissed hard.
Oh, really?
Dissed hard. And I was like, man, I'm going to find any way I can to be with this woman. So I joined PTA meetings. I joined Coffee with the Principal. I joined the Boy Scouts of America. And some people call it stalking. I call it persistence. And finally she gave in. But this is where I say God's a funny God, because she ended up a daughter of a minister.
This is not your wife now, right?
This is my wife.
Oh, that's amazing.
And she ended up a daughter of a minister. She said, if you want to be in a relationship with me, you have to have God in the middle. So I went to church, and then I learned about a God who could forgive anybody. No matter who they are, no matter what they've done, no matter what lifestyle they lived before, he could forgive anybody. And
You told me that.
Yeah.
yeah, I told you that. And that changed me a lot, because in society, society will brand you that you're not worthy, that you're done, that once you've done certain things, you're cut off. But God never forgets you. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to preach God and put it down people's throats.
Sure.
It's just something that's helped me.
Yeah.
And once I learned that, stuff just started going good and stuff.
That's
Became a minister, a pastor.
Wow.
I do homeless ministry. I do prison ministry. I speak in prisons. I speak to at-risk youth. I feed the homeless. I'm a movie star now.
Yeah.
A pro wrestler. My own businesses. So I'm living proof that someone with a black heart that came from poverty, that came from just where I came from and was evil, black-hearted, they can change.
That's miraculous. My goodness.
Sorry about the
You
long.
see?
No, it's good. It's good. It's
but
good.
Now I
that's-
can breathe.
But that's the power
a lot of
of
vision.
women too, right? So
Yeah.
see, I mean, like your wife is the one that made you change. So,
Yeah, she's a major. I do say God, but she's a major reason why I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Why I'm not in prison. Why
Yes.
I'm not dead. And
God used her as a tool to help
Exactly.
you.
exactly. And I thank God every day for it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Let me ask you a question. Not to get so much into politics, but I guess I'm curious. You mentioned before, like things are getting worse. So tell me what your thoughts are in regards to what's taking place on the border, because I know like people were like upset with the vice president, not going down to the border.
Yeah.
People trying to cross over. What's your take on the border situation now?
Man, I am one to say that right now it's a really bad situation. Yeah, we have a lot of people coming over, but we also have a lot of bad people coming over too. And sex trafficking and human trafficking is at its worst. Drug trafficking is at its worst. If you live along the side of the border, it's really dangerous, and that's another reason why we moved. I'm not saying I'm afraid, but when it comes to your kids, you want to protect them at all costs. And I am someone who will protect my kids at all costs. And right now, it's just horrible. I hate to talk politics because as an actor, they're like, oh, you support this, but it's true. The president right now, we're the laughing stock of the world. And
Let's go, Brandon.
I feel right now that we have a president who can't even jumble a sentence
Oh
together.
God, yes.
And
I don't think he's running the country.
no,
What do you guys feel about that?
I feel that he's a puppet on a string.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I just think he's much older these days and just not really kind of
Yeah.
know what's going on. It's just
He never ran the country anyways. He was just the puppet.
So
the
in
whole
regards
time.
to so why is it worse? Like when Trump was, and here's the story. I'm not like Democrat, Republican. I don't really care about that situation. I'm more concerned about like for our families, right, and crime.
Yeah.
And then people say, oh, things aren't going on the border. I mean, you would know better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there so much more crime? Is it because they're just allowing people to come in and they're not enforcing the laws?
It's not enforced at all. And then you get children coming over and then being put in cages and stuff. It's pretty bad. I believe I hate talking politics, but when Trump was around, he was more about border safety and securing the borders, and he was actually somebody that the other world, other countries was afraid of, and they actually respected us because I feel like he was this is the way it is. We're Americans. Everything's gonna be American made, and if you don't like it, go somewhere else. And I feel like we don't have that with Biden. And I'm not going Democrat, Republican anyway, but it's just the truth, man.
So do you feel it affects us here in Vegas, or all the states? I mean, do you think it's just coming along?
Oh, sex trafficking is everywhere now. Human trafficking is everywhere. I tell my kids all the time, I got teenagers. I'm like, be careful. Even the boys, be careful. I said, because it's everywhere. Like, you don't think it is, but it's everywhere.
So, like prevention-wise, so that I mean, are you saying it's gang-related or just crazy people?
It's
Everywhere,
it's
because
everywhere.
crime.
It's cartels coming in. It's people in power that we don't even. You know what I mean? It's everywhere, and you just got to keep your kids safe. You gotta. I got GPS on my kids, because I want to know where they're at all times.
This came up before with GPS as well. And these days, I know there's air tags, and then there's other air tags that will pop up. Like if I have an iPhone, it'll say there's an air tag nearby. What's the best GPS for these days for the kids?
Besides their phone, right?
I do it
get
on
rid of the phone. I mean,
Yeah.
you've heard of the air tags?
Yeah, I've heard of that, and we've looked into other stuff. I have it on their phone right now. I tell them if they shut it off, they're in trouble, So I just try and do it the best I can. You can't 100% be, right there every step of the way for your kids, but you can make sure as much as you can that you've done
I
something.
hear you. I mean, I have 2 girls and a boy. I mean, I feel like
You can't chip them, not yet.
What's the story with that? I was saying like these days with the military, they do it with people.
Well, here's the thing, though. That's the mark of the beast. And when that happens, and I'm sure you know all about this, right?
Yeah.
So when that happens, we're headed towards really bad stuff.
But I feel like
you
I
know?
want to chip my kids like somehow.
You do
Just-
it. I air
How do
tag
you,
my
how do you do it?
kids.
What do you do?
I air tag the clothes.
But even with the air tag, I think if I'm nearby you,
So that does
you're-
work, the air tag?
I put it in the shoes. I put it in their clothes. You know what I mean?
so-
You can actually, like,
That's
you
something
like sew it
that's
in or
something I
something.
made.
But I
Okay.
thought with your phone, like if I'm near you, it'll say like air tag detected.
Yeah.
But that's not good if I'm kidnapping you and I have
Yeah.
and I have an
No,
iPhone.
if you go to Texas, I can still
They'll
see
see.
where it is and come get you.
No, what I'm saying is I know that means I know to search you for air tags. If you have an air tag on you right now and I go to Bluetooth,
Yeah.
it's going to
You
show
can-
there's an
you
air
can
tag
see.
nearby.
Depends on
Yes.
if it's connected to me or not. Like if you connect it to your phone, you can have it in a way where she can't see it on her phone. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I wanted to try it. I got to go. They're cheap to get. I mean, I need to actually.
I gotta look into that.
It's
but-
just heading towards that way, though, is what I'm saying.
I mean,
And
the biggest
so-
thing is
and-
just protection of your children.
yeah, but they're desensitizing all of us slowly right now to get to that phase.
I mean, I understand
know?
what you're saying in regards. Sorry, in regards to conspiracy theory. She's like conspiracy
No,
theorist.
it's not
I
conspiracy
Which I'm not saying
theory.
it's- I'm not saying it's wrong.
because the government right now
Wants to track.
Government right now wants to track every single thing you do.
Yeah.
And I feel that way. I feel like you know what I mean. That even now, if you don't have the COVID vaccination, you're being you got extra eyes on you. It's just the way society is now. It's not like when we were younger.
Right.
It's a different America. You know, we're not as free as we used to be.
Well, that's why I tell my friends now, okay, welcome to socialism, because the things that are happening now is a little sample of what socialism is, and it's going to go right into communism. But everyone doesn't realize that. They're like, and so they're desensitizing you with all these different things slowly at a time, so you get used to it a little bit at a time.
I mean,
and then
I understand perspective. I mean, at this point in time, I'm just like, it makes me nervous of the trafficking, human trafficking.
Yeah.
Well, you're a female. You're a good-looking female. I mean, do you ever get afraid? You walk into your car. I mean, you don't
I
get
used
afraid?
to be the trafficker, so I get it. But you know what it is? I mean, it's happened since the beginning of time. It's just now we hear about it a lot, right?
So you don't get
but
nervous?
It's happened. No, I mean,
even like myself, like my wife's
Who
taking
wants-
a walk around the
Yeah, no.
community. I'm just nervous, small, petite.
who wants
It's-
this old
it's-
pussy?
It
You know?
There's a lot of people that would want that.
it's more dangerous now. But I do agree with her. It was always there. It's just with social media we see it more.
You see it more. It makes me nervous these days because I see it a lot more, especially for some reason it keeps popping up more in L.A.
Yeah,
like it keeps you like I don't know on my
it's-
phone.
It's
NBC
close to
LA
the
or
border. Any state close to the border is a
Got
little scarier, and it's just we're living in a time now where people don't have they're free with their inhibitions because social media has made everything acceptable.
Right.
A lot of stuff that we used to look back when we were younger, that we were like, that's vile, that's awful. We're desensitized now because we see it. Like our kids can go online and look at people getting their heads cut off or murdered on what's it called, where now they're desensitized to it. It's nothing to them. And I feel that's why we've moved in a bad way as a society because we're desensitized because we have free access to look at horrible stuff.
Right. And everything's information's right at your
Our
fingertips.
kids
you know?
can look at
Yeah.
can look at sex stuff and pornography
Yeah.
at a very young age because
Right.
I remember being younger. You'd have to go and you'd go cable and see the staticky, you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, I saw a boob. Oh, I saw.
Or steal your dad's newspaper.
Yeah,
right,
but
or
now,
Playboy or something.
but
yes.
now it's wide and it's acceptable and it's desensitization. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question. Recently, something happened in Las Vegas. I just wanted to take on it. Wanted to show you a little bit of a news video, and we could discuss it. But recently, there, and I know inside the prisons as well, right? There's the black, white, and then
Yeah.
Hispanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then split up. And they say that hate crime is more on the rise. I think in this state, it's like 37% increase for hate crime. So it kind of concerns me in general. Recently, the other day in a school, who knows exactly what took place? It happened about a month ago. But there was a kid who's Jewish wearing head covering, which is called a yarmulke. He basically was nonverbal, and he had a service dog. And I guess he's in the school. But the school is kind of a tough area because it's Clark High School. I'm not even familiar with all these schools. And supposedly he came home, and they put a swastika on his. They must have carved it into like
Yeah.
his side or something like that in general
In his body?
on his body.
Oh my goodness.
Now it's kind of interesting because I shared
was
this.
this at?
It was at Clark High School in Las Vegas. Here, it happened a month ago, and because I'm a retired police officer, I always try to do like reward money and try to get justice. We actually in September there was a hit and run, and one of the attorneys that I work with, Sam Ryan Hadari, with Hadari Law Group, gave $10,000 reward money, and actually someone gave the tip, and the guy got arrested, and he killed the 23-year-old gentleman that basically served his country. He was in the army. Very sad story. Generally, he like stole a car, killed a guy on a motorcycle. If they would have called the police, maybe he would have survived. You know. But long story short, so one of the things I try to do is try to get people in our community that provide reward money. You know. So in this situation the other day, I said this is a good case to really try to get somebody. You know.
Yeah.
And so Sam Ryan Hadari, which you met with Hadari Law Group, gave a $5,000 reward out there for this person or persons that did this. So I'm not sure if it happened in the bathroom of the school or on the way home or something, but if it's a school grounds. But let's play the news video.
Okay.
And let's watch the video and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
You find out who did it, I'll take care of him. No
That sounds
reward
good.
necessary.
I was just trying to decide, is that two different cases you just talked about?
Outrage keeps growing over this unsolved possible hate crime. There's now a $5,000 award to find who is responsible for this. What looks like a swastika carved into the side of a special needs teenager. He's Jewish. Tonight, only on Fox 5, we heard from the mother, and she says speaking out could lead to answers. The business behind the new reward says they have a message to stop all hate.
I thought he was safe. It's really scary, and I think people are afraid to talk about it. I think kids are afraid to talk about it.
Mom asked us to conceal her family's identity for their safety. She now hopes with a $5,000 reward, someone will come forward to explain this. How a possible swastika ended up carved onto her son's side. The special needs teenager is nonverbal and wears a yarmulke every day on his head. CCSD police are still investigating, and the day after our story aired, a letter from the principal went out to parents stating, "We will not tolerate discriminatory behaviors."
I'm hoping somebody at the CCSD will reach out, a staff member, student, anybody that saw anything.
Everyone should understand this is a very serious crime. Injuring someone based on their faith. Every business, every person in the community, they have an ethical duty to just stand up for this kind of crimes.
Attorney Sam Hadari of Hadari Law hopes his firm's reward helps kids and parents take all hate seriously and have tough talks at home.
They are possibly, they were kids, children, and they don't know the magnitude of the harm that they have done or the crime that is committed here.
Mom is getting other support. Civil rights group, the Lawfare Project, is helping her get answers from CCSD. Rabbi Levi Harlig of Chabad of Southern Nevada says Mom is glad others believe her, but she's also saddened by comments on social media that others don't or don't take anti-Semitism seriously.
There's definitely a lot of hate out there in the world, but a lot of the times it's ignorance. So if we can prevent these instances by happening through education.
You're not alone. You guys are not alone. There's a lot of people out here to help.
Now, if you have information on the case, the family is asking that you contact Crime Stoppers. CCSD is also asking for help and contact school police immediately.
So yeah,
Outrage keeps growing over this
That's just a case of bullying. Pretty
Which
much,
is
right?
well, it's kind of interesting because the kid's nonverbal and
Yeah, of
had a
course.
service dose. What are your thoughts?
It's another example where, like social media blows stuff up, and these kids are trying to one up each other and stuff. And education is important when it comes to racial tensions and stuff. I think
Kids
that's
are
I think it's
mean.
awful.
Yeah.
There's been bullying since the beginning of time and stuff.
How do you feel in schools these days? Like how the schools are supposed to protect, like in the bathroom, there's no cameras and stuff like
See,
that.
that's
But school police.
That's another thing is schools now are really lax and stuff. You saw like with the shooting and stuff where it took forever for anything to be done in that one shooting in the school. There should be more security. There should be more. These kids should be punished for doing what they did. That was awful. That was really awful. There's been racism since the beginning of time, and education is a way. But I'm here to also say too, I was a racist for many, many years. Being in prison, separated by race, I hated white people and I hated especially black people. And the thing is I changed my ways. I changed my way of thinking, and I realized that everyone's important. You know, we're all one people. We're all one society, and I look in the heart now of people, not in the skin color.
But you have to remember, kids in high school, but middle school and high school, they're very, very cruel. I got bullied all through middle school and high school myself. It was really tough for me, too. I had to fight every single day, you know?
This is kind of crazy, though, because of etching probably with a key or something,
that's
into someone's skin. But that happened to you?
Well, they use a razor blade, I think. It looks like a razor blade, right?
What do you
Not
think? It was razor or key?
Yeah.
It looked like a razor blade.
It was a
or
razor
like
blade,
some
right.
kind of sharp knife.
Yeah.
Sharp edge or something
But
like
they
that.
didn't, it didn't look like it drew blood, but, you know.
Enough to break the
Could have
skin.
been a razor blade.
Yeah.
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 I don't know about key though.
No, not key.
It looked worse.
So,
than
but if you do a
keys.
razor blade, wouldn't you think you would start bleeding
You'd
more?
still bleed. I don't know what it was, but it looked
Definitely a sharp item. I mean, it's
Yeah.
sharp item.
Yeah.
abrasion. But one thing that I'll share with you with our show, The Problem Solver, we want to reach out to other people in the community. And so Sam Hadari basically did a $5,000 reward
That's good.
to get justice. And then actually today, about an hour ago, someone said they would match the $5,000, so we're at
That's awesome.
$10,000
That's awesome.
reward. So the question is, will people come forward, whether it's a kid, maybe someone scared, gang-related, stuff like that? Do you feel it's gang-related? I mean, even high school-related, or no?
It's
just
not gang-related.
Stupid kids.
It's stupid kids. It's stupid people.
Bullies.
Not
They're
it's
just
bullies.
bullies.
It's bullying has gotten worse. I think I've seen a lot of incidences like that and stuff, and it's just education
And teachers are afraid to get involved as well.
teachers.
You know,
teachers,
they
I
don't,
feel probably they don't get paid enough to do that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And that's the problem right there, is that you got teachers who don't care about their jobs, who don't care about the kids. There's a lot of teachers out there that care about the kids, and they're not treated right by their employment, and that sucks. You know what I mean? That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But
So you just think it's kids not really gang-related?
it's not gang related, man.
Okay.
Gang that would have been totally different. You know what I mean? That
Got
would
it.
have been totally different.
So I know that Paul basically, brought you on the show because he had an experience with you as well, and I know that there was a movie that he watched.
Yeah.
I think, did you watch the movie first, and then you reached out to?
Yeah, I watched the movie.
Ocho,
I reached
right?
out to him. He reached back to me, and he's been coaching me ever since.
Okay. We have a movie here, and it's called John Light, right?
Yeah.
I think this is just like a little bit of a reel. Let's play John Light, and this is what Paul saw, and then from there, basically, he reached out to Ocho. Let's see how that video looks.
Hopefully, it's a John Light movie, not the other trailer you were seeing.
John Light!
Oh, there you are.
Thought you were gonna get the scary one, huh?
Hey, listen up. I need Bibles in one bin. I need everything in your pocket in the other bin. And as we go through this yard, no eye contact with anyone.
Hey, you know it's all right. You can look at my face. As a matter of fact, I look at it all the time.
You'll always be a convict.
He says you threatened to kill him.
They tell me all these wires on my head, they're crisscrossed.
No!
And they're not connected right.
Chicken pot pie.
Made some comments.
What happened?
They stopped.
And he couldn't tell his son that his mom was dead? John!
I have no son by that name.
I'm okay! I'll be out in 2 months! Don't forget about me! Why did you make me feel like I belong? I'm an animal! I belong in a cage!
I understand there's been some kind of a religious conversion.
Everywhere I look, dark!
Tell me about my son.
Paul, how'd you find out about the movie?
I don't even know, man. Like I'm in tears now watching the trailer. Like if this movie doesn't touch you and you watch this movie, there's something wrong with you.
The movie basically is about a prisoner who finds God in prison, but when he comes out, he's judged by his past and by the way he looks. Society treats him like a nothing, and he starts like questioning: should I continue on with my faith and be a new person, or should I revert back to what society wants me to be or who they think I am? And
it's deep, brother. Like,
yeah.
I saw they put the line, my favorite line in the whole movie, chicken pot pie. You know?
So in the story, he memorized his scriptures by different foods he liked, and that's how he memorized it. So I have people yelling at me. I'll be in stores yelling pancakes or chicken pot pie or something. But
is it based on your life story?
It was written. It was written before I was cast, and when they interviewed me, they had already cast a white guy a big buffed white guy in the main role, and that's hence John Light, not John Hernandez or something. And when they heard my story and how similar it was to it, they were like, "Man, this is you. Perfect. This is your story. You got to be the person in this movie." And they I felt bad for the guy for at least 2 minutes that he was recasted, but recast. I'm sorry, but you guys don't understand. This movie was released 3 years ago, and the response I get from it, I have mothers saying, "This reminds me of my son, my daughter." Or people just this reminds me of a family member, close friend, or myself, and they ask for how did you change your life? What can we do? Can you pray for me? Can you write my son in prison, give him hope that outside of prison he can change or he can make a difference? And you don't realize I was a taker my whole life, and it feels so good to be a giver. Yeah. And a lot of people think because I'm an actor, because I own this and that, I have a lot of money, and I don't, because everything I make, I give back. I just keep enough to pay the bills. You know, all the movies I make about homelessness, sex trafficking, about drugs, gangs, I fund myself.
Oh, really? Wow.
And it's hard. You know, it's hard, but God always provides for me. And that's the good thing, is I know that God's got my back. He's gonna pay my car note, my bills, my you know what I mean, my house payment and everything, and He always comes through.
Yeah.
You know, He always comes through.
How many movies do you have?
I've been in 180 movies, over 180.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, so you get casted for these roles.
But a lot of them now that we're doing out of Burning Bulb Publishing with my partner Gary Lee Vincent up in West Virginia. We're trying to make not these cheesy Hallmark movies that everyone watches and they're like, oh, that's never going to happen. Okay. Or how boring. Like someone like me would be like, I'm not going to watch that, you know. Yeah. But we're trying to make faith-based movies that are gritty, that are real, that have real situations, and shows that, yeah, this can happen, this horrible stuff can happen, but in the long run, God's in the middle of it all and He can fix it.
Okay.
You know, and like I said, I'm not one of them holy rollers trying to push God down everyone's throat. Right. It helped me, and maybe it can help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel most people in prison basically that they always find God because you have a lot of time
to
read?
There's some who do it to pass time, and I'm not gonna lie. There are some that come out and then they're a different person but you know what? God has helped a lot of people in there too. Without the Bible studies they have, without some of the programs they have, you'd have some really violent people like with no outlet, and a lot of stuff has helped prison. I wish that was around when I was in there, but those kind of programs and now the programs they have weren't, and maybe it would have changed me. Maybe it wouldn't have, but it would have been something awesome, and so I promote a lot of the prison ministries. That movie actually is shown in all the prisons over the United States, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's
great. So not only streaming everywhere, but prisons show that movie. So I got prisoners that are writing me from prison, you know. And back in the day, we only wrote letters. So now they have tablets and stuff, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I got people writing me and asking me for prayer and for help and stuff. And till the day I die, if it costs me my last cent, I'm going to help people.
That's awesome, amazing.
That's wonderful.
How is it working these days? I know people that were in jail with the tat. They have iPads. What do they have?
So I went into prisons when I first got approved to go into prisons, and preach or to like give motivational speaking, and man, I saw tablets and I saw they have tablets and they have.
But they can't call just for reading.
No, they can't do that stuff. But I was just like, wow, we had paper and pencil.
So they can watch movies.
They can watch movies and stuff, and approve movies, of course. And I know that their internet's limited and stuff. They can only send out emails and stuff. And certain emails per month or something like that.
It's actually good that it changed with times, that they're not really, even though if you did something wrong in prison, that at least that within times, right, that they're communications instead of just writing a letter, right?
Yeah.
That you're able to use iPad or something like that,
But yeah, I'm just, man, it's breathtaking to know that that something like that movie, which was an indie movie, has blown up so much and so popular. It was number one on PureFlix for like 6 months.
So if someone came up to you right now and they wanted to like kind of mess with you, I believe that you're a black belt, right?
Yeah, I'm a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo.
How many years did it take to
I was a boxer.
accomplish that?
My childhood, I had real bad anger issues and stuff, and that was my outlet too. I was a boxer too and stuff, so that's what kind of led me into movies. They needed a fight choreographer.
Do you still practice and do martial arts?
Well, I haven't forgotten. I work out every so often. I've gotten fat lately, I will admit, but I'm trying to get back to where I used to be and stuff because I want to be the best pro wrestler I can be, and not taking care of myself is not a good thing.
What made you into wrestling?
So I was doing a movie, and I was just doing improv stuff. My best friend, one of my best friends now, Tony Covington, who was a wrestler and owned a wrestling promotion. He was like, "Man, you're one of the best I've heard in improv." And he goes, "And then your look, man, you have this look that no one else has. And then I can change my voice." You know what I mean? So he was like, "You can be this awesome wrestler. Just come on in, give it a try." I came in all full of Hollywood Ocho. I even invented a Hollywood Ocho gimmick and stuff. That I was this actor who had money and thinks he's better than everybody because he was raised in the streets and can beat up everyone. And I cheat to win, kind of like Eddie Guerrero. And it took off. It took off. I'm one of the most popular wrestlers down there and stuff. And
where is it? In Texas?
No, it's all
figurine too.
Yeah, I got a toy. I got an action figure too, Hollywood Ocho action figure.
Oh, cool.
I wrestle all on the East Coast. I wrestled in Detroit, all on the East Coast and stuff, and Tennessee.
You should have brought it.
I know I should have brought it, but I was like, I
Where
flew.
can someone buy it? Do you on Amazon? Or?
Yeah, if you go on to my Facebook, my Instagram, I got links and stuff. You can purchase that. And once again, like if you buy any of my movies, if you buy any of my stuff, most of it is going to go to either homeless ministry or making other movies.
So if we wanted to find you on Facebook, what are you under?
Michael Ocho, Ocho.
Michael Ocho.
And then Ocho 8mm is the Instagram, like 8mm.
Is it? It's OCHO, Michael.
OCHOTORENA.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got it. It says Deacons MC.
Yeah, I'm in a Christian MC club too. I ride motorcycles, just like you.
Oh, cool.
I like Harleys though.
Yeah, I have Harleys. I have a Harley and Ducati.
Oh, okay. Ducati's cool.
I go both.
We have some pictures of you from the movies that we're going to show.
Yeah.
I guess a bunch of photos from online. Let's just show some of the photos. I think there's like 150 photos that we can...
Well, just, yeah, there I am.
How much if we can click on it and just go through them a little bit?
The photos? Yeah. Ton of them. That's Julie McCullough from Growing Pains. They played the main character is Kirk Cameron's girlfriend for a lot of years on the show. She was a Playboy bunny.
There's Hollywood.
Hollywood Ocho.
So when's the next wrestling match you have or something?
TPW is where I'm half owner of that, and we're having our first show on June 24th in Tennessee, and I'll be making my return to wrestling then for the tag team championship.
Is it that many people that follow that wrestling? I mean, I don't really follow it back in the day, WWF.
Yeah, so I wrestle for a lot of promotions and stuff. I'm an indie wrestler, so I wrestle for a lot. I'm in a video game too, indie wrestling, and so I'm in a video game. A playable character. A lot of pictures. I just recently was released. I don't know if you know the actor Damian Chapa from Blood In, Blood Out. He played Miklo, and he was Ken in Street Fighter. I just did a movie with him that was released the other day to streaming called The Mexican Connection. He's the good guy, I'm the bad guy, and that was just released.
Where's that out?
It's everywhere. Amazon.
What's it called? The Mexican Connection?
Yeah, The Mexican Connection.
You know, it's interesting because it was the 30th anniversary.
It's the 30th anniversary of Blood In, Blood Out. I'm really, really good friends with Damian Chapa. We filmed that movie up in Florida, and he is an awesome person, awesome actor.
Did the 30 years just pass? Because I know they were doing something in LA.
Today is the 30 years.
Oh,
I'm also friends with Jesse Borrego, and they're both really, really good people.
I think there was a big thing in LA that I wanted to go to.
Yeah, it's
Did it already
everywhere.
take place?
They're doing a tour everywhere where they're
Are they?
where they're doing meet and greets and celebrating Blood
want-
In, Blood Out.
I
To
want
me,
to
when I
actually-
was younger, Blood In, Blood Out was Blood In, Blood Out and American Me were the Chicano movies of the time, and if you didn't watch those, you weren't Chicano. But now it's kind of cool because Damien Chapa's become a real good friend of mine, and he is actually a believer too. And yeah, we do secular movies, but that's just a job we do, you know.
A super fan Steve sent over. I guess this is your.
Yeah,
Is that yours?
that's me. Now see,
Oh, that's cute.
The muscles are a little exaggerated, but hey.
How long has that been out?
That's been out for about a few months now. Hollywood Ocho, yeah.
I guess you sell it at the wrestling places, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere. But the links.
Did you make that?
No, they made that for me. The wrestling promotions and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they that one is available and links on my sites and stuff, and everything.
One of our fans were asking what's the story about Danny Trejo. I forgot who he was in.
Danny Trejo was in Blood In, Blood Out as
Yeah.
well. I've been in some projects associated with him too and stuff. So he's a small guy in real life. He's only like 5'5".
5. Wow, that's a small guy.
Yeah.
Small guy.
TV and movies makes you look bigger. I look like a giant on TV, but I'm not.
Is there basically let's see, Blood In, Blood Out 30? That's what it was. So
It's the 30th anniversary. Blood In, Blood Out.
So actually, it's tomorrow, April 29th.
Yeah.
So it's Saturday night in LA, 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. at Plaza de la Raza in LA.
Yep.
I actually wanted to go to this.
You're
I just
gonna go?
never. No, I thought it'd be really cool. It's got to be a really cool thing. in
Yeah, I
Los
know
Angeles.
Damien Chapa and I know Jesse Borrego, so they're really cool guys.
No, I really want to go to LA. I thought it was a really cool thing in general. It must be sold out by now. But I wanted to actually rent the theater out here and actually play it. A lot of people have never even seen that movie.
They never
I
see,
think it's a
but
classic.
you should see. I've done tours with Damien Chapa, and man, that movie means a lot to the Chicano people because he's got lines going around corners, and that movie was made in like '93, and people still love him and love that movie, and it's been a real big impact. You know, show the Chicano lifestyle and the ups and
I think
downs.
it's a classic these days. Is there anything else that you want to share? I mean, you do so much in general. You're helping people in the community, so I commend you for that. I think, and everyone in life, we all make mistakes. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
Paul's pretty perfect over here. Gentil's definitely not perfect.
I
You
am
know,
so
Paul's become a good friend of mine. And we all as humans we have our ups and downs. But Paul's a good person. And he was really discouraged when he was shot and when he was in the hospital. And I reminded him that you know what, he has a lot to do here on earth. And I believe in him. God believes in him. And he's going to do some great things.
Amen. I
Amen.
receive it. I believe it.
That's great.
In Jesus'
Well,
name.
I appreciate you coming on the show. Like I said, if there's anything else you want to add, Paul, do you want to add anything about Ocho in general, or any
I mean,
thoughts?
look, the man inspired the crap out of me. Like, I was discouraged at one point. I thought I was at a point of no return. And the man he was consistent. He told me the right things at the right time, and he's never wavered. Like, he stayed firm in his belief of what he believed.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped me a lot.
I have stage 2 cirrhosis of the liver. I was an alcoholic for a lot of years, and I was a heroin addict.
Oh.
And I what's it called? I never give up. I always say that I'm healed and I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I just believe that God put me here for a reason. And yeah, I did a lot of bad stuff, but if I wouldn't have done that bad stuff, it wouldn't have led me to the path where I'm able to help people now that grew up in that same lifestyle, grew up in the same circumstances. I commend. I used to hate police officers, but I commend you guys because you guys do your part as well. And I understand now that we all have our parts to help society. And it was just a lot of bad thinking and upbringing on my part. And I just feel like if people knew better,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I commend you for all your work, and you were telling me you worked in the 9/11 and stuff, and I commend you for that, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, everyone has a part to play, in society about making society better. And like I said, we all have different experiences, come from different places. So
one last plug too.
Yeah, please.
My good friend Tony Covington has a small show. He's a horror host. It's called Hacks Horror Show, and
He's a horror
host, like a horror host.
Horror host.
Yeah,
Like,
and how he like kind of like
hooker host?
No, how they watch those horror, like HORROR.
Horror. Okay.
And you know how they
Scary
watch
movie.
movies and then they comment and stuff. I told him I'd plug his stuff because he's been a great friend of mine, and that's Hacks Horror Show, and he's an awesome person as well. And
awesome.
And if you guys out there, you guys wanna contribute to one of my movies or anything, look me up too, because I do need help. I'm running out of money and I can't do it all myself. But until I'm in my last penny, I'm gonna put out what I can to help others.
You can't get, Hollywood to be interested in
I
to
try.
help you fund and stuff?
I've done some fundraising. I've done other stuff, and I have good luck on some no. But if it makes me going broke, I don't care.
If they want him to change, Hollywood would want to change his script.
Yeah, they would want me to change it a little bit and stuff, and I don't mind doing a little bit of changing, but I want the word out there that God is the answer.
Sure.
He's got a mission.
Isn't there like a religion channel out there?
Yeah, Pureflix and stuff.
Right.
And we've had talks because John Light is so popular, Pureflix might want to do John Light 2 because we now own the rights to John Light 2.
Okay.
I mean to John Light, the movie, everything.
Sure.
So they've talked about helping us with that. So hopefully that's good. But
financially, that should be good. I mean,
yeah,
if you can do movies for them, right?
You always need investors, You
Yeah.
always need investors, and I'm not here begging for money because I'll do it myself.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? That's just how I am. That's how Ocho rolls, because Ocho's a survivor, and Ocho's someone who is gonna get it done no matter what.
Right, but you have passion for it, anyways. You're passionate about it.
I got passion, and of course, I'm sorry to keep babbling, but I'd like to thank my wife, because without my wife, Cece, I wouldn't be where I am today. Love you. Thank you for all you do. I know sometimes I don't tell you or show you enough that you appreciate it, but you appreciate it, and I love my kids with all my heart, too.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, Ocho, I really appreciate you coming on the show. We'd definitely love to have you come back in the future when you're working on some different things.
Yeah.
The goal is always to help people with different problems, and that's people go to the problem solver Vegas locally here, Vegas, but we always try to help people all over.
Yeah.
A lot of people call actually from even California, Arizona, different places. So if we could help any of the people that you have, I know that you're in Texas as well, but
and
we'll work together
even
in
though
the future.
even though I'm an actor, I'll respond. I'm not big headed. I responded to Paul.
Yeah.
And I respond
Yeah, I
to
appreciate you coming out.
every single person who emails me, writes me, whatever. I will respond, and I'll try my hardest to help you with all I can.
One thing I would love if you could set up, maybe we could do it as a fundraiser, would be pretty cool. If we can get the Blood In, Blood Out, the guys, since you know them.
Yeah.
I don't know if is there a tour that they're going to different states?
Yeah, they go all over the United States.
If
This year, especially since it is I could reach out to them.
If you want to reach out to them to do like a Vegas fundraiser,
that would be cool.
We could do something downtown in Vegas.
That would be cool.
You can come out, and John, we could do a fundraiser to help. If you're connected, then whatever we could do to basically help out. I wanted to rent a movie theater out, actually.
I know they would definitely be interested.
So let's talk about that in general like that, and then like I said, we'll have you come back on the show, and then whatever we do to basically help you out, we'll support you and go from there.
And you guys are awesome. Unlike other guests, they probably don't watch. I went back and I watched all your shows, and you guys are funny.
Oh, thank you.
You guys have me laughing and rolling. So there are some really.
There's always ups and downs for every person.
We're pretty
It's
serious.
her, man.
We're pretty serious today, though. This is more of a serious.
Yeah, it's every topic is a little bit different.
It's good to laugh and stuff, and nobody says you can't laugh, because without laughter, what is life, And I'm all about jokes and stuff, and I'm able to laugh, and that's why I want to say I'm not one of, like, all Christians, all people that believe in God aren't these tight people that don't laugh and don't have a good time, because I have a good time. I'm in Vegas.
I bet you do.
Well, be careful, be
Good.
safe, Paul. Thanks so much for bringing in
Thank you, Paul.
Ocho
Love you, man.
on the show, on the Problem Solver. Dr. G, thanks so much for joining us today,
Thank
co-hosting.
you. Yay.
And as usual, I'm Dave Colmeyer, the Problem Solver, again, a retired police officer, helping people just like Ocho, Gentille, even Paul in the community, getting people together, networking, building relationships, and helping people. If you have a problem, again, go to theproblemsolver.vegas. Tons of resources available. And 702-999-1111. 702-999-1111. Be safe, be careful, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.